Good evening. Police say they've foiled a Christmas terror plot with a series of raids this morning. The bomb squad was called in as 4 men were arrested in Sheffield and Chesterfield in Derbyshire. The arrests follow recent online ISIS threats against Christmas markets here in the United Kingdom. Our Home Affairs correspondent Mark White reports.
This Chesterfield neighbourhood is now at the centre of a terrorism investigation. A house here, one of several searched by detectives who believe they may have disrupted an attack planned to coincide with the festive period.
The police officer put the window down and says, look, you need to move away, sort of thing. And as I was walking back, I had a quick looking back at van and seen a male in his 30s with no T-shirt on or anything, just bare, and he had shorts on or boxer shorts on. And I headed back across towards my house.
Several properties in Sheffield, including this Islamic community centre, were also raided and are now being searched. The festive period always gives rise to heightened security concerns. Amongst the shoppers at Birmingham's Christmas market, a deliberately high-profile police presence. Around the perimeter, added protection to help guard against vehicle attacks.
We've had some really positive feedback from the community that come to the market and the business community. They recognise the threat in which we're operating and they've been really supportive of the policing operation with partners to make the Christmas market a safe place this year.
Birmingham's Christmas market is the biggest outside Germany, attracting 5 million visitors last year.
It's like an airport now, like the metal barriers. It's like walking through a security metal detector test. It's got the metal barricades right across. It makes you feel a lot more safer. And then we felt we were a bit more secure, didn't we, when we come in?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth having around. I feel a lot safer walking around.
Well, obviously these concrete bollards are less than aesthetically pleasing, but they are highly effective in stopping vehicle-borne attacks. And while the terrorist threat remains high, protective barriers like this will be an increasingly common sight. British Transport Police say they are boosting their armed presence in Birmingham and Manchester. Specialist counter-terror teams will patrol key train routes over Christmas.
Obviously the festive period is an area which we have to keep our eye on, but what we're saying to members of the public, go to these events, but stay alert at all times. But if you see any suspicious behaviour or suspicious items, report that to police officers or members of security in order that it can be dealt with.
In Manchester, like London, they're still getting over the trauma of being directly targeted by terrorists this year. But if anything, that's only stiffened the resolve of the local population.
You just don't think about that sort of thing when you come shopping. You just come to shop. You don't come to think about terrorism. You'd never go anywhere, would you, if you thought like that?
You can't stop living. So yes, you come out and you enjoy yourself.
These latest arrests highlight the high tempo of counter-terrorism operations, which authorities have described as unprecedented. The 4 men detained have been taken to West Yorkshire for questioning. Mark White, Sky News.
Sky's Matt McCarthy is in Chesterfield for us, where the bomb squad has been all day. What's the situation there now, Mike, as night falls?
Okay, still a significant amount of police activity here at Kings Road North in Chesterfield. The road behind me joins on to a main road. That main road, the cordon has been lifted in the past hour or so. About 200 metres were sealed off earlier today, and all of the houses and shops along here were evacuated as people were looked after at the local football stadium, the Chesterfield Football Club Stadium. Well, as you can see, a number of police vehicles still here at Kings Road North, even though the operation has been scaled down. As you say, the bomb squad have now gone. They went off with blue lights flashing onto their next location. One thing to point out here is the fish and chip shop here on Sheffield Road in Chesterfield. That has been closed and it's currently being guarded by a police officer. We understand that that has been certainly one of the premises of interest by the counter-terrorism officers who've been carrying out the operation both here today in Chesterfield and also, as you were saying, in Sheffield. There's still We understand a heavy police presence in Sheffield too, including at the Fatima Community Centre at Burngreave, the Burngreave district of the city, where police raided earlier on. That, amongst other things, is the Sheffield base for the Sheffield branch of a Muslim Community Association, the Muslim Association of Britain. Now here the police have, as I say, opened up the roads roundabout, although part of Kings Road North does still remain closed. What the counter-terrorism unit are saying about today is that it was part of a pre-planned operation. They'd obviously been gathering information from surveillance for some time, we understand, but their advice to the public at the moment, both here in Chesterfield and in Sheffield, is remain alert but don't be alarmed.
OK, thank you. Well, one service to announce a big step up in its counter-terror activity today is the British Transport Police. They're establishing new firearms units in Birmingham and Manchester to increase armed patrols on the rail network outside of London.
The threat is right across the UK, and therefore we want to have a base in the Midlands to cover not just Birmingham, but of course across the Midlands and indeed the Northwest to stretch north. So the reason we are doing that is to provide better coverage with specialist assets on the railway, that's train and station, so that the public can be kept safe.
Theresa May has